another episode of Two Wise Guys. Hey, I got my main man, Coach D Wise, on here again. What's up, Coach D Wise?
What's going on, Coach?
Hey, it's covered things we want to talk about tonight. I know the first thing you and I were speaking about earlier that we want to talk about tonight first is, we always hear out here in the recruiting landscape that hey, if you ain't got D1 offers or you ain't got offers, and the first signing day to pass, signing day to pass, or even if you're a junior and nobody ain't looking at you, you ain't got an opportunity. I've been noticing the last week or so, man, there's a lot of big time mid-major coaching that ain't head coach. They head coach leaving to other programs. What do that mean for the landscape of college recruiting?
Oh, like you say, Coach, the landscape. What does it mean, right? Like you said, a kid that signed with a school back in February, back in December. Then, like you say, before spring ball, or right in the middle of spring ball, our coach leave. What do we do? Do we stay, or do we? Well, everybody said, do we go in the portal, or like you say, or I might not be a fit for the next coach. But like you say, Coach, my question is to you, Coach. I know you're an expert in it. What advice to any kid that you have that's on current team that coach decide to leave or anything like? How do you handle that process, Coach?
Well, first of all, what I would tell that kid and his parents, as we always tell them, during the recruiting process, only put 10%, maybe 15% on who the coach is. The rest of your decisions got to be made about, do you want to be at that university if that coach ain't there? Do you want to be in that city? Do that school fit you also, not just the football program? Because, I can sit here and tell you two ways. I done heard coaching staff, there's new coaching staff come in and they say, we inherited certain players and they don't fit our system. So soon as the portal open or soon next recruiting cycle come, we're gonna go recruit guys that fit what we do. So the ones that are here, and a lot of people don't believe this when they talk about the transfer portal and kids ain't loyal to programs and kids get mad because they ain't playing. A lot of times, as you know, coaches push kids into the portal, especially ones that don't fit their program. So when it comes down to that, that's what concerns me, Coach D, is if I'm in spring ball right now with my coach, and now we got a whole new coach come in, and let's just say I was a running back in the system that I signed to, man, they run this inside zone, outside zone. That's my thing. But this new system don't do but pass the ball. What do that put me? Do I really fit the system with the new coach? Is the new coach? Do I have a relationship with him? What happens? I mean, on both sides, what happens with the kids? Should I hit the portal
Well,
immediately? Because technically I can't.
you use the word, Coach. I've been hearing a lot of people use that word very loosely. Everybody use the word loyalty. Coach, honestly, Coach, it's not no loyalty in this high school football. It's not no loyalty in college football, Coach. Everybody use that word so loosely. Loyalty. In the day, Coach, I look at it on both ends, right? You got coaches leave on first opportunity. You got kids that leave on opportunity. So when everybody speak about loyalty, you got to be 100% in this school. Why you got to be 100% in, Coach? If the guys that the actual employees of the school not 100% in, right? So,
Right.
but why do everybody use that word loyalty? Who should you be loyal to? It's not no
Well,
loyalty, Coach.
my thing to you, I think, and I understand what you're saying, but I think you're using it a little wrong too. See, the word back in the old days was loyalty. The word today should be business. And what we should be teaching our high school guys, our college guys, the same thing we teach the professional guys. It's all about business. Because let me break that down for a coach himself. If he get a better opportunity to better himself in life and his family, that's a business move. That don't mean he don't like you. That don't mean he don't care about you. That don't mean it has nothing to do with personal. It's all about business. Just like now, even with these guys getting paid with the collective, this and that, that's business. It ain't
Right.
nothing about relationship or loyalty there. So let me rephrase it back to you because you used the word loyalty correctly. Coach D, I'm gonna throw it back to you. If you're on team A and you was a running back and team A never gave you the ball, and you go over to team B and they give you the ball 30 times, and you're a running back, Is it about the business of your brand to get to the next level to elevate you, or is it about loyalty, staying on the team and being a team player?
It's about me, coach. It's about you building your brand.
Right, and again, but I just think let's not get too far gone because I do think it's a mixture of everything. I think it's a mixture that you do have players that never wanted the process or never went through the process and they got the reward, and when they got to college, it hit them in the face, and those dudes do jump every time something negative said. Every time they don't do something right, they jump. That is true. Okay. Then you got the guys that try to stick it out, that work hard, try to stick it out, and they get ran off. That happens. Okay. But then you got the situations that's true situations. You know, like I ain't gonna call them names, but one thing blowing me away right now, you know, since we talking about coaching changes, we talking about business, transfer portal, all that. I got a young man that was third string on the depth chart at a Division II school. Couldn't hit the field. First thing we would have said, oh, he got mad and wanted to be in the portal because he unhappy. So the kid hit the portal. Okay. Not only did he go from Division II, he went up to mid-major. Now in the weight room and off the field and all the workout, he breaking records. And he's penciled in right now going in the spring as a starter. How do that happen, Coach D? Is it the system? Is it business? Or is it loyalty?
Right, the system and business, coach. That's what it's all about. The system and business, like you just said.
Correct. But a lot of people would have said, hey man, stay your butt at the school you was at, fight through it. It ain't, don't get mad because you ain't the best. He might have been the best, but he might have been playing through politics. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I think people using all this to wrong. They mixing too many other formulas in as one and don't take every situation as being separate. Even speaking of the college transfer portal, speaking of the college coaching leaving, Coach D, let's step down a notch. What about the high schools?
Right. I didn't see about what just in the state of Georgia last week or so, coach, about 10 coaching changes.
Correct. And it looked like just as quick as the coaching change, the players hitting the portal, which it ain't really a portal, but I'm calling it a portal because they put posts out here, hey, I'm now committed to this school, that school, but there again, same thing, it's business, correct?
Correct. So
You
so
know,
so what you say, coach, that just like everybody say about college programs, everybody it's not about building teams, no, about building great programs, about building good teams. Would you say the same thing happened in high school football, coach? Nobody trying to build programs no more. Everybody all about building the team year by year and see how that team go.
I'm gonna say yeah, but I'm gonna defend something though, Coach DY. The first answer to your question is yes. The second part of it, and this goes for the colleges also, that people don't understand. It's very hard for coaches to be a program these days because when and it goes back to the process and reward again with the player. When you building a program, you take step by step to get to the pinnacle. Okay, these days, if you don't win state championships, you get fired. So what happened with that method is you can't afford to build a program. You can't say, okay, this year we won 3 games. Next year we won 6 games. The next year we won 9 games. So our 4th year we won the state championship. Okay, the administration, the fans, the parents, the kids, they're not allowing coaches to do that no more. That's high school and college. Matter of fact, that's all the way down to rec ball. Okay, what they saying is we rather have 1-year teams that's gonna win the state championship, and then next year, coach, whatever you losing, you gotta go and reload to get back there instead of the process. So like, what make me mad is when everybody tell the student athlete, you don't want the process, you want the reward. Honestly, and I'm gonna skip over high school coaching. The administration, the fans, and the parents saying, no, coach, we don't want the process that it takes to be successful. We want the reward. Forget the process. What it's gonna take to get the reward. And then when they don't get it, It's time to fire the coach. It's time to blow the whole situation up. It's time to go get somebody else that we can put the pressure on.
Right. And that's just like, coach, even what we do, coach. Everybody, doing our events, our showcases, our everything that we do to bring exposure to these young men. You got other companies out here that do similar things like we do. Like I said, if a parent don't get the result they technically want, they like you say, it's all about the "what can you do for me now" program, right? And so just being able to see all this, coach, man, I get to see parents, I get to hear parents. Matter of fact, I was just talking to a parent tonight, coach, and they were talking to me about the recruiting process, about how do you know when a college say they offer me, coach, but how do I know, do they really want me or not, coach? You see what I'm saying? They send letters and everything. And like you say, coach, the recruiting process is not what it used to be. What 2 years ago? It's not what it used to be probably a year ago, coach. This thing constantly change. I remember back in the day, they said if you got a handwritten letter from a college, that was big time, right, coach? That was huge. If you got a handwritten letter, but now a handwritten letter don't mean that. So in today's recruiting world, coach, how can I navigate what's real and what's not real? Because like I said, back in the day when I got a handwritten me being a prospect coach, when I got my first handwritten, that was huge, right? But now they saying handwritten don't mean that no more. They saying that the camp invite don't mean nothing. The junior days don't mean nothing. So what means something these days, coach? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
So first, I'm gonna come at you like this and ask you this question: Who is they?
I'm gonna
Who
say
is
what
they?
we always say: the internet, right, coach?
That's who you call them they.
The
They
internet, the naysayers, the everybody that's in it is in this process. I want to say.
right. So really, you can't pay attention to the they. This is a story I always tell, Coach D. Wise, and you done heard me tell this story before. So I'm gonna follow up like this. One of my uncles used to take all of us fishing when we were little boys. Now all of us had one rod, and he had five. We didn't catch no fish because we never got a bite. He caught a bunch of fish. So that means he had a lot of hooks in the water. To be truthful with you, Coach D Wise, it ain't no formula to recruiting. It ain't no formula to recruiting at all. Stuff that used to mean something don't mean nothing no more. Stuff that used to not mean nothing mean the world now because it's a formula. And the problem is, but one thing that still stays the same that everybody overlooking, work hard, develop, study your craft, and you're gonna win. But what people is telling, oh man, I ain't gotta run sprints no more because I went to rivals camp and they ranked me number 10 in the country, so I'm good. That's not true. Coach, I ain't gotta work out in the summertime no more. They said as long as I bench press 300 pounds, I'm good. That's not true. And so I would have answered your question like this. If a school was recruiting me or recruiting, and let me go back. A lot of people are getting recruited. Schools are liking them, but the people is not liking the answers they're getting from the school. Okay, they ain't giving a lot of the schools time to really get to know you, to really get to build a relationship with you, to really come out there. It's almost like, oh, she's a pretty girl. Let's go get married tomorrow. Instead of saying she's a nice looking girl, let me get to know her. Let me take her out on a couple of dates. Let us have some conversations. Let us do some things together to get to know each other and then to see would this be a good marriage. And that's why it's a lot of divorce. And so, Coach D, I'm gonna come with this with you. Same subject. I'm gonna come with this prime example I just thought about it. So what's happening in the college recruiting world is just like I just said, the normal way it used to be dating. You find somebody you like, you get to know them, you date them, you carry it on. It's a process, right? And then after a while, y'all figure out y'all compatible and y'all get married and y'all live happily ever after, correct? That was the fairy tale, right? That's recruiting. Nowadays, it's like, oh, I see a young lady I like, okay, cool. I'm gonna get her phone number, cool. We're gonna get married next week, cool. And we're gonna get divorced 2 weeks later. That's me recruiting you, you signing with me, you coming to my school, and you hitting the transfer portal. That's what
Right.
that is. Okay? So the problem is everybody is worrying so much about is this real or this not real. At the end of the day, Coach D, a kid can only sign to what? One
One school.
school. Another thing is if a kid get 40 offers, he only can sign a scholarship at a certain time of year. So if I'm serious about you, and let's say you was a senior now, and I offer you today, only thing I can do is coach you, court you, get to know you, this and that. No matter if you commit to me and say that we together or not, you cannot sign until December. Correct?
Correct.
So what you worrying about it for? Build a relationship. Build other relationship. Some people ain't even seen you yet to build a relationship with you yet. Build all the relationships you can and get to know each other and stop worrying about what's real and what not real. If it's real, you're gonna know. And the way you're gonna know is the way that they treat you and the way that they carry themselves. So like again, I would tell anybody this. If a school, if you really want to know how serious they are about you, Coach D, if they call you and say, we give you an offer and we want you to come to campus and watch practice, go to campus and watch your practice and see how you get treated. Now, if it's just a GA come up to you, what's up, Coach D, man? Hey, man, we recruiting you, man, this and that. It might not be as excited about you. But if that head coach come up and talk to you and everybody know you there, then yeah, that's more than just throwing a hand up at you. What you think about that? You've been out there on the campuses.
I agree with you, coach. Then like you say, just different things like that, coach. Who talking to you, who's speaking to you, what they know about you, right? You know, like coach can tell you a lot of things. Oh yeah, man, come to camp, but what do you really know about the kid, right? It's like you said, vice versa, because you got to make the college coach do their job. They want you, right? Like you always say, coach, do your homework. You got to do the athlete got to do their homework, and college got to do their homework at the same time. Just like we had the pleasure experience about last week. We experienced the whole week at a college spring practice, coach. And I watched the college coach cuss the guys out because they know how to practice, coach. You see what I'm
Correct.
saying? And you say to yourself, man, these boys, a lot of these guys been in college. Matter of fact, most every kid in college been in college for a year or two, so they should know how to practice. But then, like I said, everybody, but it's a new staff, coach. It's a lot of old, like we just saying about that transfer portal. So kids are so worried about claiming that spot. They going that extra. They doing the unnecessary things. But coach say, hey man, we got the film out here because we're not watching how we want to see the energy, but we want to know who are going back and teaching. We want to see the technique that we're teaching you. Are you doing those things? We don't care about you causing the fun. We don't care about you scoring touchdowns. We want to know what technique are you using. The things we teach coach you on. Are you using those things? And so a lot of people think that just because I'm the rowdy one on the field, that's what's gonna make the college pop out of them. Just because I make the most noise. Nah, man, it's about it even when you go to camp this summer. Can you take the information that they teaching you and implement it in their drills and see can they coach by you? So, coach, like you said, I done seen a lot over the years, coach. I done experienced a lot this year. And I love catching up with you, man. Just the different things that I see out here, just to make sure that I'm being able to tell these parents, the parents I deal with, the right thing, coach. Because like you say, coach, we done seen multiple players come through. We're going through the process now. And I just want to make sure we telling these guys the right thing, coach. Because like you say, you'll get caught up in what we always say, the internet and everything was going on the internet world. But at the end of the day, internet is a fake world. That's what a lot of people don't understand. Internet is fake, right, coach? And so,
Right.
like you say, getting ready to come up on spring games, getting ready to come up on spring ball and all this stuff. Like I said, a lot of guys on spring break. I done seen guys go. I done seen one kid make a schedule. That kid going to college 7 days out of the whole spring break. And then the question I got for the kid, dang, is any of these schools recruiting you? Then you got some guys, like I said, I know one kid, coach. The kid got 13 offers right now, but he's going to visit a school in the spring that he don't got an offer from.
Right.
You see,
So I got you. So I want to back a little, Coach D. Wilder, before we get in the spring, because you said something that I want people to hear me answer this. You said you was at a practice last week, and the coach told his team, there was a new staff came in there, told his team, who taught y'all how to practice? Y'all don't know how to practice. My question is, let's talk about the high school guy first. Half of the high school guys don't know how to practice because they don't practice correctly. They don't practice like the college practice. See, like what you really was saying, I want you to go detail what he mean y'all don't know how to practice. Those guys you was talking about, they was hitting each other low, jumping on each other back, doing this, and them were their teammates. And when he was saying that you got to practice like a pro, use the technique, we ain't not here hitting low, this and that. We practice a certain way. But then my question is, when that high school guy comes in that never learned how to practice, then what you got? Because I done heard a lot of guys that went to pro and said, man, they was out there, man, and they took a shot at this one player and they got released off the team because they took a shot at a player that's in it. So again, on that topic, I want to say nobody has told a lot of these younger guys, especially high school guys, how to practice correctly. But guess what? They doing teaching them everything except what they want to know. Now let's get back to the spring, in which spring ball and the offers this and that. So let's talk about that young man that you were speaking of. I want to talk directly about that a little bit, okay? Because I hope that young man is listening to the show tonight, because maybe he'll pay attention to this. I'm not saying don't go to a spring practice of a school that haven't offered you. But this is what I am saying. If 5 or 6 schools have offered you, and then you go over here and go somewhere that they haven't offered you, then you'll think them 5 that have offered you was wrong if everyone on board they offer, correct?
Correct.
Because what you're really saying to them is, I'm really not interested in y'all. Y'all really ain't my top. I'm waiting for this cat over here to do something for I make, so y'all my second fiddle. So if those schools treat that young man just like he treated them, how would he feel?
You're right, coach, because that's what he's doing to him.
And then the computer, the internet, the street committee, they, as you say, man, that school did that kid wrong. Them school did them wrong. No, it's a business. So, Coach D. Wise, I think what we should be teaching all student athletes, especially high school guys, including college guys, it's all about the business. It ain't got nothing else to do with nothing else. So put it like this, because we talking about football and we talking about young men. Think about this. If you had 5 young ladies that were serious about you and you were dating them and you kicked them to the curb trying to wait for this other young lady to come through, if she ever come through, you expect them to sit down and wait for you?
No, I don't.
Or do you feel like she should move on? Or if she move on, you can't get mad, right?
Right, because I done moved on.
Correct. So that's what the young man got to understand. But that young man that you talking to, he's lost. He's lost in the cloud because he think the recruiting is about him. He think everything is about him, and it's not. It's about business. So the next man, what y'all say, next man up. So what he don't understand, just as soon as they offer him, they went and offered another one that looked just like him.
Right.
And then when he get ready to come back to him, they're going to say, no, we went with the guy that wanted us. And that same school that he chasing that has not offered him, they still may never offer him. So then the world say, oh man, they did me wrong, man. Isn't that? No, it's a business. You got to get it treated like a business. So I mean, what you think about that?
I agree with you, coach. Like you say, man, I just be like, everybody always be crying about offers, but when they get them, they still don't know what to do with them, right, coach? And so that's my biggest thing, man. I know, coach, we got kids that send with multiple offers, man. We got kids that send with no offers right now, but they're gonna come. But it just bothers me the most when these kids cry about, oh, they in the struggle, all that. But when you get offered, you still trying to chase after something, but you see what I'm saying, coach? So that's my whole thing, coach. I just want to make sure I just get, like you said, coach, everybody wants the reward, but nobody wants the process. Or when they do get the reward, everybody wants to stop working. Or they think it's about them. They think it's about getting 20 plus offers. They think it's about becoming the next number 1 player in the country. It don't matter. All them stars and all that stuff reset once you get to college, right, coach? I never heard a college coach ask a kid, what's your rating was? What's your star? What's your stats in high school? Nobody don't care what you did in high school. It's all about getting there, right, coach? Right. And so, like we had a young man a couple years ago, coach. We had a quarterback a couple years ago. He wasn't no ranked in the top nation that's top 10 and all that. But he went to a Power 5 university, became a Power 5 star. Like I asked him, so what's the difference between you and the number one quarterback in the country? It's no different. We're on the same playing field now. And so what I always say, Coach, just get your foot in the door. We can care less about this ranking, and now we just trying to get you there. Once I get you there, you on the same level with the dude that was considered the number one player in the country. Y'all the same guy now. It's no different.
Matter of fact, go a step back, Coach D.Y. That same kid, if we talking about the same one, was in the quarterback room with several quarterbacks that were 4 stars, number 3 quarterback in the country, 4, and he actually started over those guys until he got hurt. Am I correct on that?
You're right. Matter of fact, Coach, one of them quarterbacks is in NFL now was a first-round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? So even the kid that went first round of the draft pick wasn't the number one in the nation. A lot of people dropped off on him. You see what I'm saying, Coach? So that's what ended it.
Right.
So in the day, Coach, like my thing, this is what I believe in, Coach. I don't believe in the hype. I don't believe in the stars and everything. I believe you get you there. Like we always say, scholarship over stars, man. We get you there. We're gonna get you there. And like I said, once you get there, you're on the same playing field. There's no difference between you and the next, man. It don't matter what he played for a 7A school, you play for a 1A school. It don't matter. He's the number one defense lineman in the country, and you the number 1,000,000. If y'all there, y'all on the same playing field. So what you gonna do with the opportunity? So what I see a lot of now, Coach, a lot of guys get the opportunity, but a lot of guys fail in the opportunity, Coach. Like prime example, Coach. I was at that practice on the other day, and there was some guys that signed in February with his university, and them guys was out there. But one specific young man, he signed, but he was trying to be too cool. He was trying to be in the back. And the coach said, hey, man, what you doing? Come learn these plays, because he don't understand. Once he get there in January, get there this summer, he's supposed to be next man. It's not about being cool. It's not about going to these campuses, be the pretty man, to be the best man around, to show them cool. No, it's there to learn. You there to learn. You there to intake. You should be able, when you do go to these business and everything, you should be able to leave that business and say what I learned more than just football. What did I take away from their practice? I should be able to call a play out that they didn't say because I was just that much zoned in. But like I say, but what I see now, Coach, everybody's so worried about going there and taking a picture, just letting people know they was there on campus to get the hype. But what I tell everyone is, let's go learn, Coach. Let's go figure out how can I, if I'm not on your board, let me go figure out how to become on your board. When I do get there, hey, yeah, Coach, I heard you using this terminology, Coach. I heard you say that. Can you elaborate more on that? But we so busy going places looking cool. Even, Coach, I'm gonna call us out as coaches. Even that we so worried about the head coach giving me love when I get there, or the assistant, they ain't showed me love, so me and my kids gotta go because he coach. It's not about you. It's about going there, putting these young men there and going to learn. It's not about you trying to go be the big dog around campus, Coach. That's what just gets me now, man. Where I'm gonna say the fame and everything, Coach. We don't never have one thing about us over here, Coach. We ain't never had it. We don't care about the fame, man. But we got the results, man. We like I said, I can guarantee we can go toe for toe with anybody in the country, Coach, from the what they call the 5-star companies to the anybody, and I guarantee you our success ratio better than enough. Because like you say, Coach, we just don't go out here and say, oh, you play football. We going to make sure my favorite saying is, Coach, we recruit the same kid that the college coach recruit. How do I know I do that? Because when the college coaches call and say, Coach, I know you got him, and it's easy just to send him over a kid. Prime example, Coach, this specific university I'm talking about, we got 5 kids on this one team, and we got about 3 more going to join these guys. And the reason the coach trusts me because he know we got we vet these guys, right, Coach? He know the homework that we do on these guys. He know every single thing. So if I say, Coach D. Wise, I need somebody, so he already know. I don't know what you're looking for, Coach. I'm not gonna send you nothing that you're not looking for, because I recruit that same kid you want, Coach. I want in my program. I'm gonna vet him before you get to him, and that's why we continue to have success that we're having, Coach. At the end of the day, Coach, it's not about a high school program, not about a college program. At the end of the day, all these kids in our program succeed because the way we are in our program, what we preach from the day one, is all about the work and the work. And like I said, if you're not going to work, you can't be a part of nobody's program, Coach. So, like I said, I done seen kids, Coach, to make whole 365 in their careers, man, in the last year or so. I done seen tight ends turn to O-linemen. I done seen receivers turn to DBs, turn to Power 5 DBs because of the work and understanding what the college is looking for. And that's the number one thing. Find out what they're looking for. When you find out what they're looking for, it's easier to narrow everything down. But in reality is, Coach, if you're a 5'6" offensive lineman, no, you're not going to Georgia. So don't say the coach doing you. I don't care how great. I don't care what they say, heart over height, all that. I don't care how great of a dog you are. You don't fit the bill of them. But can you play college football somewhere? It's somebody out there that you can go to that can play. But like I said, everybody's not built for the Georgia, the Floridas, the bigger schools, coach. But like I said, go figure out what we are for and go figure out the criteria that we look for and go see do we even meet that criteria. Then we go to the next step of it. But like you say, coach, it's just so much, man. It's just so much been happening, coach. And like I said, just been in this game for a long time now, coach. What, 7 years? I've been in this thing 7 years, man. I've seen the talent level. And I'm trying to tell all these kids, in the day, coach, all these kids are the same. You the same kid as a kid from 20 years ago. All these players still the same. It's just a different name in a different year. But John Doe now look like John Doe from 10 years ago. It's the same exact player.
Well, I'm going to hit you with this one. I'm going to agree with you 90%. I think the difference 10 years ago, 12 years ago, then a student athlete now, everybody was hungry. Everybody wanted it. Because you mentioned something, and that's why I ain't stopped you, but you mentioned something that just hit me in the head, too. You were talking about the young man that was already signed with the university, just ain't went there yet because they still in high school, and it was at practice. And they was more concerned about pictures and people knowing on Twitter that it was there instead of really watching and paying attention. And then I want to turn around and say this, Coach D.Y., because this is what we teach our guys. And this is what, because a parent asked me this the other day, what should we be doing when we go to watch practice or visit the college campus? If a kid was smart that was in high school being recruited or not being recruited, and he had an opportunity to go to a college spring practice and was fortunate enough to be able to sit in the meetings and watch practice, he should go sit up front and learn all he can learn, even if he ain't never gonna go to that school, because that's how he get better, by learning. You know, and I think people don't take that. Just like you used to tell me, Coach D.Y., you say, Coach, when you used to coach, and I'm talking about me, that I used to steal time during practice. I coach receiver when we running inside. We there, but we still running routes. Okay, but these kids got to understand how to steal time when they go into these colleges. And what I mean by stealing time, going to these meetings, watch what they doing, watch how they doing things. Go out on the field, man, if the coach told me I can come closer, man, boy, coach, I'm gonna have to push me back and say, no, you gotta get out the drill because I want to learn. But it ain't nobody want to learn. They said, like that young man you talking about, he's saying, I learn when I get here. But when he get here and there's another kid that signed that did the right thing and he don't get to play, then get what, man, they did me wrong. No, it's a business. And these guys somebody got to teach these student athletes that it's all a business.
Correct.
You're
right, bro. Like I said, it's business. That's the number one thing. Understand it's a business.
100% business. But look here, Coach D.Y., we got started a little late this evening because I know you had a couple things you had to do. But we're going to cut this episode off. We gave them enough knowledge on this episode. See you again next Sunday if it's all right with you.
Oh, always, Coach. Looking forward. I got a lot more for you next Sunday now.
All right, hey, bring your A game. Bring your A game, because if you don't bring your A game, you know you get shot down.
Also, I want to mention something before we go, Coach. We got March 22nd, Fayetteville, North Carolina, College ID Showcase with the young boys and the young ladies. We're gonna be there. Like I said, spots filling up, so make sure you get your spots, man. Like I said, we're gonna go about the Friday, then we cut our deadline off. So get your spot, man. If you want some exposure, we coming to the North Carolina area. We done had great success up in that North Carolina area the last couple of years. So get your spot, man. Filling up quick.
Okay. Hey, let them know where to go to sign up. You're on mute, Coach D.Y. You done muted yourself out. Well, again, you're on mute, but look, if y'all want to go to the College ID Showcase, Fayetteville, North Carolina, March 22nd, it's going to be at Terry Sanford High School, Fayetteville, North Carolina. Go to tictailexpo.com, go under events, and sign up for the Fayetteville, North Carolina College ID Showcase. Coach D.Y., did I hear it right? All right, well, that'll conclude the show for tonight. We appreciate you guys.